Hello, YouTube. This is episode 6 of the Ellis Highlight Reel podcast. This is Brandon Ellis, your host, as always. We got several updates throughout the sports world on with the COVID situation. So I'm excited to get into those topics. We had the match, the charity match between Tiger Woods, Peyton Manning, and Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady in golf the other day, along with the list of favorite sports movies of mine. So, with that being said, let's get into the updates of COVID-19 and sports. First off, in the NHL, they announced the end of the regular season. The regular season is over with for them, which is probably the right decision for them to do. And they're going to go with 24 teams in the playoffs instead of the normal 16. So it's going to be additional 4 teams in each conference, and so it should be interesting. 2 hubs, cities, that's what they said, but they haven't been announced yet, so we're going to wait on that. Hopefully we get, hockey to come back along with other sports, but it'd be, it's fun for them. It might be the right way for them to do it. It might not be the right way for certain other sports as I might get into later to do it, but it should be fun and interesting to see what the 2014 playoff would look like. In other news, the MLB came out with a proposal for the money situation. As we all know, the prorated salary situation has been, interesting and crazy. So Jeff Passan had a tweet showing the new proposal and how the money would look like. I will probably link it down below in the comment section if you want to see what the tweet is and what it looks like and how the math works. But he had I'm just going to use the biggest example. So say if you're like a Mike Trout or a Clayton Kershaw or one of those guys with A-tier players, you're making $35 million this year, right? But you were supposed to make $35 million. The proposal would be like $7.25 million. So that cuts it like, super. A lot, right? So, I don't think the players will accept it. This is going to be a weird situation with them because the CBA is up in next year. The collective bargaining agreement is up in 21. So we might have another strike in our hands like in 94. But we'll see. It's just unfortunate that the MLB is not, taking its action. They're thinking about the money and the revenue to the extreme. So, but the biggest news probably to come out was the NBA agreed with Walt Disney, the Walt Disney World in Florida, to have the ESPN Worldwide Complex as a site for when the season resumes. So that's great. That is great for the NBA to get that because they have 3 courts and the hotels, and it's in that nice little bubble, right? And it's going to be, that's going to be great for all. It's just going to be interesting to see. And then we're talking about late July return. If it's a late July return, that's great. They might just go to the playoffs. They don't want to make the finals, when the NFL season comes out, gets started and everything like that. So what do I think they should do when they come back? I think they should go to the playoffs right away. No need to play the regular season, but I understand getting to 70 games because that's how the TV deals get and work and everything like that, and the players can get all of their money. If they want to do that to get to 70 games, do that. Even though Damian Lillard said he would not play in those games if they don't have a shot to make the playoffs, which I do agree with that because what's the point, playing meaningless games because they're 3.5 back in the West right now behind Memphis. And 3 games wouldn't get done. If they had the full 15, they had because they played 67 games right before the pandemic struck. So they had 67. 3 more would get them the money. So it's interesting to see a lot of the details of it and all of that come out. We're gonna wait. June is gonna be a big month for updates. So I can't wait for that to share with you guys. June is going to be the huge month for updates, but this is a step in the right direction. We got the venue at least, and I can't wait for the NBA to start playing the game again. Playoff, if it's the playoffs, great. If it's the regular season, then playoffs, it might give them a chance to make it better, so that's even better. What I would do if they do the 3 games or the playoffs, regardless, I would do 1 through 16. I would seed it 1 through 16, like March Madness a little bit, instead of the 2 conference 18. I would seed it 1 through 16 and do it that way for this season. I would test that out because no travel really. You're in one spot. That should work. And I like that a lot. And it's a great situation for that. It's a great time to test that out. I'm not saying it would be the permanent move, but for it to be different during this time might give a new product. It might be interesting when it comes all down to it. So we'll see what the NBA decides, but that's the great start. In other news this week, the NFL has stated they want to have full fans in attendance. NFLPA President Troy Vincent said that in a conference in an interview this week. He was like, we plan to have fans to be there. If only it's healthy. If it's healthy for everyone to come out, they should do it. They should have fans there. But if it's not healthy, don't do it. That's my stance. That's always been my stance. Keep the health first. Currently in Virginia right now, we all have to go out wearing masks starting Friday. Anywhere we go, Northam, a lot of people are upset with that. I get both sides to it, but I'm a guy that's gonna be like, protect people first and protect the health. And even though the CDC has said masks are, probably more dangerous, I don't know. It's just it's just one of those situations right now that we're in, just to stay safe and be, But at the same time, it's one of those things. So if we can have fans, that's even better. Hopefully, we'll get more updates as time goes on. But that's the updates I have right now in regards to COVID and the sports coming back. But we need it. We need sports to come back, and we're slowly getting it back. We had New Jersey and Pennsylvania going to reopen up soon. So that means, all those teams that have training facilities in those 2 states will be able to work again. So that's a good thing. Because I think they were one of the later 2 states that, didn't open up. So that's good for them. Another thing that came out was there was an interview in 2011 that Michael Jordan did, talking about the Dream Team and stuff like that. They've been talking about it ever since they found the footage. So MJ was like, I won't play if Isaiah's on the team. And Chuck Daly did not want Isaiah on the team. Basically, that's what the clip said, right? So you wouldn't, there wouldn't be Isaiah. So people are like, Michael did have some influence on the decision to not have Isaiah on the team, on like what he said in The Last Dance, where he said, I didn't have any influence on the decision. Well, that's the thing. Is it misconstrued information or broken telephone of memory? Granted, Michael might have forgot about the interview he did in 2011 when he was recording the interview with, Hare, the director of Last Dance. So that could be it too. It could be a lot of things. Why 2 different situations have come out. It's still gonna, people are gonna take it whatever how they're gonna take it nowadays. They take it, and They should make their own opinion of it. My opinion is Michael's still the GOAT. Kendrick Perkins came out and said he's not my GOAT. LeBron's my GOAT. Like, Kendrick, I get it. That's your opinion. But because a guy lied in the documentary about him, or lied, about him, and made him look like the superhero, everyone like that, like, bruh, you just didn't watch his game. If you didn't watch his game, I know you probably watched his game, but he was the best player on the court back in his day, and you can't argue resume. You can't. 6-0 in championships, like a lot of accolades. You can't argue with the resume. Now, if you go resume, there's a couple other players that are better than Jordan, but the mystique of Jordan and the brand of Jordan and everything like that too is what people find Jordan to be the GOAT. So there's that. But Jordan will be my GOAT. Until we get a guy that completely changes the game again. That's how it will be. Jordan changed the game from the 80s to the 90s, and then in the 2000s. Then Curry changed the game when he came in the league, but he fell short of expectations and everything like that. And he was never going to be the GOAT. LeBron was the better player, but that's the thing. We have LeBron James on the Mount Rushmore, but we're not saying he's the GOAT because he's lost 5 times in the finals. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. But yeah, I mean that's that story, and in a nutshell. And my final thing I want to leave you guys with today is my top 5 sports movies of all time. Sports has been a meaningful passion in my life, but also film. Film has also been a passion of mine for a good while. I love film, and I took a film class in community college, and I enjoyed it. It was one of my best times, and I also took a film class at JMU. Loved that too. So, to give you my 5 favorite films in sports, it's going to be a long list. It's a good list, but it's also a list that maybe people might not like as much. But here it is. Here's my top 5. Number 5, Bull Durham. About the Durham Bulls, and the minor league team in baseball, and Kevin Costner's in it. Kevin Costner might make his appearance again in this list. It was one of his first baseball films, along with Angel in the Outfield, and Field of Dreams, as well. I think is it Angel in the Outfield? I think it is Angel in the Outfield, Field of Dreams, and Bill Durham were the 3 that he was in. Anyway, so Bill Durham is a great film. It makes my number 5 spot. Number 4 on the list. Number 4 on the Like Mike. Actually, no, not Like Mike. Coach Carter. Coach Carter is a great basketball film. Samuel L. Jackson. Channing Tatum, an early role of his. Small part. Just about the high school team in Richmond, California. Trying to learn how to play the game again. Try to improve. And Samuel L. Jackson brings him and his son to the team. And a lot of drama in that film. And one of Samuel L. Jackson's best performances, in my opinion, is in Coach Carter. So I love that film to death. So that's number 4 on my list. Number 3, Any Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday, great football movie. Jamie Foxx, Willie Steamin' Beamin'. Yeah, a little bit of taste of the song. I can't sing it really well, but I love that film. Dennis Quaid. Like I said, you gotta have drama to be a great sports film, and the drama of it all is is why I love it so much. Actually, my 5 is going to be Coach Carter. 4 will be Any Given Sunday. I forgot one film that's better than Any Given Sunday. That's in the same sport of football. Remember the Titans is my number 3. Denzel, Herman Boone. We gotta have Remember the Titans on this list. Probably the best football film of all time, in my opinion. There's been so many good ones. Rudy, you could argue have a spot on this list. Any Given Sunday's on this list. So I love and Remember the Titans and Any Given Sunday. 2 great films to pop in when you want to get ready for the football season. Number 2 and number 1 are 2 special films in my heart. I grew up with both films. So it's tough to say which one's my 2, which one's my 1. It might differ some days. But my number 2 film of all time has a famous quote that everyone says when to their friend when they do something silly. Here it is. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. Smalls. Sandlot. The Sandlot is my number 2 film of all time. Sports movie. I love Benny the Jet Rodriguez. I love that character. Hannah Porter. All the kids make it perfect. The scenes with the dog, that's funny. The big dog breaks the trap contraptions and everything like that. Try to get the Babe Ruth ball back. It's really quotable. That's what you need to make a great sports film. It's really quotable. The sport is played a lot very well. The lifeguard scene at the pool where Squints kisses. Oh man, that's classic. So you gotta love Sandlot. If you don't like Sandlot, I don't know what to tell you. But Sandlot's my number 2 film of all time, and my number 1 film of all time. My number 1 film. Gotta get up, it's time to slam now. You gotta go down the Space Jam. It's around the Space Jam. Alright. Number 1, Space Jam. Got me into the game of basketball. First exposure to Michael Jordan. And the Looney Tunes. What else can I say? It's because my number 1 because I'm emotionally attached to it. Is it the best film out of these? No. Remember the Titans is the best film. But my list is what I would go to, right? If I'm in the mood for a sports film. Space Jam and Sandlot, I would go to way more than Remember the Titans. I would go to those all day, every day. So it's that's my list for the week. And leave your list down below. And I love to interact with y'all a little bit on those films. Any other films y'all have down that I might have forgot about? Obviously, people are going to say Talladega Nights. The Ricky Bobby movie. Will Ferrell. Great movie. Another good movie. Semi-Pro. Another good Will Ferrell comedy. Sports comedies aren't really my thing a little bit. I mean, Sandlots and Space Jam are little, have comedic elements in them. Obviously, but like straight up sports comedies, like you think of Will Ferrell, right? I hope, speaking of Space Jam, I hope LeBron and them make a good respect them sequel a little bit. He's making a new one that's coming out next year. Hopefully it lives up to the first one. Because the first one is a classic for us kids that grew up in the 90s and 2000s. So hopefully Space Jam 2 becomes that for the next generation. So LeBron, you got pressure, man. You got pressure, but I think you'll live up to it. You're one of the greatest basketball players of all time. So you got this, man. Anyway, that's my episode for this week. Just stay classy. Everybody, stay healthy. No matter where you're at. Florida, if you're in Florida, stay healthy. you're in, some other places too. Just stay healthy out there. Stay safe. I know we're in that situation right now. You know, it's getting warmer, and we want to hang out. Just remember, just stay safe. Wash your hands, all that. Just common sense stuff. That's all you really need to worry about. So, that being said, this has been Brandon Ellis for the Ellis Highlight Reel. Peace out.